Welcome, everyone. We are reviving the Killing the Church title.
What did he say?
We are reviving the Killing the Church title. The Killing the Church title.
Hey everyone, well today we're going to be looking at a review that was done from a debate that I had against Bradley. Wow, this is the first part because there's a few things I have to clarify with him, and I'm going to take it step by step. So hope you guys enjoy the series. Let's have a look what they say and let's correct them.
Look, this man prepared a slideshow. Which I know Sean probably appreciated, because Sean also comes prepared with slideshows to debates, and that is, look, it's impressive. I am impressed when people come with slideshows for debates, because it shows that they really did put a lot of good work into preparing for the debate.
Did Jesus claim to be God? Well, first we're going to look at Genesis 15 verse 1 so we can have an outline to show that Jesus was there in the Old.
Real quick. No one can prove the angel of the Lord is Jesus in any way, shape, or possible. So I just want to say that, but yeah, go ahead.
Challenge accepted.
Okay, let's look at Malach Yahweh and how Jesus is the angel of the Lord. Let's have a look. So the angel of the Lord appears throughout the Old Testament and consistently does things ordinary angels cannot. Malach Yahweh speaks as God. Malach Yahweh receives worship. Malach Yahweh forgives sins. Malach Yahweh identifies himself as Yahweh. So let's start this off with Genesis 16 verse 7 to 13. And the angel of the Lord found her by a fountain of water in the wilderness, by the fountain in the way to Shur. And he said, Hagar, Sarah's maid, whence comest thou? And wilt thou go? And she said, I flee from the face of my mistress Sarah. And the angel of the Lord said unto her, Return to thy mistress, and submit thyself under her hands. And the angel of the Lord said unto her, I will multiply thy seed exceedingly, that it shall not be numbered for multitude. And the angel of the Lord said unto her, Behold, thou art with child, and shalt bear a son, and shall call his name Ishmael, because the Lord hath heard thy affliction. And he will be a wild man, and his hands will be against every man, and every man's hand against him, and he shall dwell in the presence of all his brethren. And she called the name of the Lord that spoke unto her, Thou God seest me, for she said, Have I also looked after him that seeth me? Now, you can see there the angel of the Lord is Malach Yahweh, and the story that we just read is, who was this Malach Yahweh? This Malach Yahweh, this angel of the Lord, was declaring to be God, because he's saying, I will give a covenant to you. And even Hagar accepted this and said, God has seen me. So, that's very clear. Let's move on to Genesis 22, verse 11 to 18. And the angel of the Lord called upon him out of heaven, and said, Abraham, Abraham. And he said, Here I am. And he said, Lay not thine hand upon this lad, neither do thou anything unto him, for now I know that thou fearest God, seeing thou hast not withheld thy son, thy only son, from me. And notice there, from me, because he was saying first God. Who's the angel of the Lord saying he is? God. And Abraham lifted up his eyes and looked, and behold him, behind him a ram caught in the thicket of his horns. And Abraham went and took the ram, and offered him up for a burnt offering in the stead of his son, instead of his son. And Abraham called the name of that place Jehovah Jireh. As it is said to this day, the mount of the Lord it shall be seen. By the way, Jehovah Jireh is the Lord shall provide. And the angel of the Lord called unto Abraham out of heaven the second time, and said, By myself I have sworn, says the Lord, for because thou hast done this thing, and thou hast not withheld thy son, thine only son, that in the blessing I will bless thee, and in multiplying I will multiply thy seed as the stars of heaven, and as the sand which is upon the seashore, and thy seed shall possess the gate of his enemies. And in thy seed shall all the nations of the earth be blessed, because thou hast obeyed my voice. As you can see there on the right hand side, Malach Yahweh is for the angel of the Lord. Exodus 3 verse 2 to 6. And the angel of the Lord appeared unto him in a flame of fire. Now guys, this is to Moses. Out of the midst of a bush. And he looked, and behold, the bush burned with fire, and the bush was not consumed. And Moses said, I will now turn aside and see the great sight, why the bush is not burnt. And when the Lord saw that he turned aside to see, God called unto him out of the midst of the bush. So we're getting the picture here. The God was in the midst of the bush, and said, Moses, Moses. And he said, Here I am. And he said, Draw not nigh hither. Put off thy shoes from thy feet, for the place whereon thou standest is holy ground. Moreover he said, I am the God of thy father, the God of Abraham, and the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob, and the God. And Moses hid his face, for he was afraid to look upon God. Now, we see there in verse 2, on top there, it's saying, the angel of the Lord appeared to him. So the angel of the Lord again is declaring to be Yahweh. Judges 13 verse 18 to 22. And the angel of the Lord said unto him, Why askest thou thus after my name, seeing it is secret? So Manoah took a kid with a meat offering, and offered it upon a rock unto the Lord. And the angel of the Lord, and the angel did wondrously, and Manoah and his wife looked on. For it came to pass, when the flame went up toward heaven from off the altar, that the angel of the Lord ascended in the flame of the altar. And Manoah and his wife looked on it, and fell on their faces to the ground. But the angel of the Lord did not no more appear to Manoah and to his wife. Then Manoah knew that he was the angel of the Lord. And Manoah said unto his wife, We shall surely die, because we have seen God. See there, Malach Yahweh being declared as God. So, let's maybe look at some early church fathers. Okay? They concluded the angel of the Lord was the pre-incarnate Christ. First we look at Justin Martyr from his dialogue with Typho, chapter 56. The angel who appeared to Moses is called God, and is distinct from the Father. He is called both angel and God. This is Christ. Against Heresies, Book 5, Irenaeus, the Son spoke to Moses and appeared to Abraham. Against Praxis, chapter 16, from Tertullian, it was the Son who spoke to Moses. He who is called the angel of God is actually God himself. Now, we can go on and on. There's a lot of church fathers I could give. Just thought, let me give one or two modern scholars as well. This is just a paraphrase quote, though, from The Unseen Realm by Michael S. Hauser. The angel of the Lord is identified with Yahweh while also being distinct from Yahweh. The Two Powers in Heaven from Alan F. Siegel. Ancient Judaism had a concept of two divine figures. Benjamin D. Summers. Guys, I do think you guys should go read a lot of his content, because it is actually very good when it comes to looking at the old Hebrew linguistics and translations. God can have multiple manifestations simultaneously, yet still be one God. Now we're going to look at John 1:18 quickly. No man has seen God at any time. The only begotten Son, which is in the bosom of the Father, he hath declared him. Now this is a very important why I'm bringing this up, because it is giving a story of, guys, when you were seeing God in the Old Testament, it was the Son. It was Jesus appearing. That's very important here. So, what does this mean? The Father is invisible. Yet people see God in the Old Testament, and the mediator who reveals God is the Son. So, the theological logic, if we have to put this theologically, the Father is the unseen source. The Son is the visible messenger or revealer, aka Malach Yahweh or Davar Yahweh. The Spirit is active presence. So when the text says Malach Yahweh, it is literally the messenger of Yahweh, and is declaring himself as Yahweh. But the messenger speaks as Yahweh because he shares the divine identity. So, if we look at Genesis 15:1, which I brought up in my presentation, which they are looking through now, and you can see there Davar Yahweh with the Makif there. The Makif there is bringing it to make it one word. So when it's Davar Yahweh, it is referencing as the word of the Lord, which is Malach Yahweh, which is the angel of the Lord, which is Jesus. So, when we look again in 1 Samuel 3:21, and it says the word of Yahweh. Okay, so to Yahweh revealed himself, for in Shiloh appeared Yahweh, and again of Yahweh by the word in Shiloh came to Samuel. If we look at Jeremiah 1:4, and came Yahweh the word to me, saying. Again, there's the Makif there, which is Davar Yahweh, which makes it one word, which is saying it's the word of the Lord. And this word of the Lord is a He. He is the Malach Yahweh. And if we go to John 1:1, how can we miss that? Because this is telling us exactly who the Davar Yahweh is. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. Very, 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 very important to understand, guys. This word here is an actual He. This word here is Jesus. How do we know this? Well, let's go. John 1:2. He was in the beginning with God. Who did we just see in verse 1? The Word was God, and the Word was with God. And now it's saying this Word is a He that was in the beginning with God. So He wasn't created. He was in the beginning with God. And all things through Him came into being. And without Him came into being not even one thing that has come into being. So this He that was the Word, that is God, that was with God, is eternal. He is God. And He created all things. And we go to John 1:14. How do we know this Word is Jesus? And the Word became flesh and dwelt amongst us, and we beheld the glory of Him, a glory as of the only begotten from the Father, full of grace and truth. And just some little quick tidbits here. John 8:58. And He said, truly, truly I say unto you, before Abraham was, I am. And this is where they wanted to pick up stones to stone Him, because He was literally claiming to be God who appeared to Abraham. But you're asking, how do we know that He was talking to Abraham? Okay, because when He was saying, I will be who I'll be, or I am, is to Moses. But let's see now how He's talking to Abraham. Okay? Well, first, actually, Exodus. You see, this is what I was referencing. I am who I am. Okay? It's actually, I will be who I'll be. But He was referencing this. But let's see. John 8:56. This is how we know Abraham saw Jesus. And Jesus was saying this. So that's how we know this. Okay? So He said, Abraham, the father of you, rejoiced in that he should see the day, my day, and he saw and rejoiced. So that means Abraham literally saw Jesus and he rejoiced. And who did we see when we read with Abraham? Abraham was talking to Yahweh, Malach Yahweh. Yes, so the angel of the Lord definitely is Jesus. So there we go. We can clearly show that the angel of the Lord definitely is Jesus. And Jesus is definitely declared as God. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed part 1 of this series. If you guys like this content, please don't forget to comment below. Hit the likes, share the show, for all that good stuff. See you next time. God bless.